How's it going, guys? This is Blake here from Team MST Negates, coming with you with a top 64 uh, Guru Control deck profile. We just got back from Richmond Regionals this past weekend, and I ended up getting 61st place with my Guru Control deck, so figured I'd just go ahead and do a deck profile for you guys. So starting off with the main deck, got to run the 3 copies of Subterra Guru. New card out of Savage Strike actually makes the deck playable. And of course, the other Subterra card that you play is 3 Fiendus. Pretty much, she's a Solemn Judgment, just hand trap. As long as you have a face up Subterra, you just flip it face down, discard her, or send her from field to grave, saying, you can't do whatever you were trying to do. And then she also has the ability to flip herself face down to bring one back from grave and special summon it. That came up quite a bit whenever they kill one Guru and already had Fiendus in hand, or if they kaiju'd it. Then the one Umastrix, just to help get you over things that you can't battle over. Because when he's flipped, he banishes one card on the field, or one monster on the field. And then, of course, the one the Nemesis Archer. And, of course, she attacks something that's in face down defense, and it shuffles it back into the deck. And that came up quite a bit this weekend. Definitely won a couple of matches. Then onto the hand traps. I play 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Honestly, this is probably one of the best cards that I use this entire weekend. I played against 2 Cyber Dragons, and just playing that first turn kind of shut them down. And so, if I had a 3rd copy, I'd probably bump that up to 3, but just sticking with 2 for the time being. Of course, 2 Ash Blossom. Also one of the best cards of the weekend. If I had her in open in hand, it pretty much shut down a lot of their opening plays. And then, in my opinion, the worst Sand Trap that I played was 2 Ghost Ogre. It really never came up much. I actually don't think it came up any. I normally sided it out, because the only Sky Striker matchup that I played was Trickstar Sky Striker, and I never drew into her when I was playing against it, and didn't really have much other purpose other than for that. And that's going to wrap it up for the monsters. And then next up for the spells, of course, you're playing Guru Control, you have to play the 3 Hidden City. If you open this card and they don't have a way to stop it, you typically have game on board, just because you have the ability to keep searching every turn, essentially. Because when you have it on field, you get to search your Subterra monster when you activate it, and then you can flip a Subterra monster from face down, face up once per turn. And then this other effect that a lot of people don't really know about when I was playing against them is if I control a face down monster and they attack, I can just flip a face down, face up, and then negate the attack. And that came in clutch quite a few times. And of course, you're playing the 2 terraforming because you want to see it as fast as possible, because it is the best card of your deck, essentially. Then for draw power, 3 duality, just because you don't really special summon much, if ever. There's very few situations where you would, and of course this just helps you see either terraforming or your Hidden City a little bit faster. And then for some one-ofs of spells, the 1 Cave Clash and 1 Scapegoat. Cave Clash just lets you prolong the game a little bit. If you do damage, you get to bring back 1 from grave to hand, 1 Subterra monster. And again, that came up pretty often when I had run out of Fiendus. Scapegoat, I ended up siding out quite a bit. It didn't really serve much purpose except for to stall. My last game against Cyber Dragons, he had about 3 monsters on field, and I was able to stall him out for a couple turns just because of Scapegoat. And that's all for the spells. And then to the meat of the deck is your traps. So of course, starting off your 2 Final Battle. If you don't know what this card does, it has 4 different effects. One that lets you flip a face down monster face up, a face up monster face down. You can increase the attack and defense of one of your Subterra monsters to the combined total of their attack and defense. And you can also prevent their effects from being negated. One of my favorite things about this is it's also got the Scrap Iron Scarecrow effect, where it flips itself back face down. And so, again, you can just keep using it turn after turn after turn. One of my favorite interactions from the entire weekend, I was playing Trickstar Sky Striker, and he activated something, I think it may have been Afterburn, somewhere he had to target a face-up monster. So I used his effect, Guru's effect, to flip himself face down in my Nemesis Archer, and then he said Widow Anchor, to which I said Fiendus to negate it. Then he said Widow Anchor again, and then I just activated the Final Battle saying their effects can't be negated, and kind of solved that chain issue right there. And then onto the floodgates of the deck. Honestly, my favorite card this entire weekend has been Summon Limit. Shut down so many decks. You only being able to summon twice per turn doesn't really affect you at all. Honestly, I'd bump this up to 3 just because it has been the best card of the entire weekend for me. If I saw it, I typically won games. Second best card in my opinion was There Can Only Be One. I played a lot of decks where you could only, they only had one type of monster, whether it be Thunder or Machine. Anytime I resolved this, I typically won the game against those decks. Cyber Dragon, in the first match I played against Cyber Dragon, he summoned Core, searched off his effect, and I said there can only be one, and he just sat on Core because he couldn't do anything else. And the last floodgate I play is 2 Gozen match. This never really came up often. I think I resolved it maybe once, and it didn't really do much for me. I played a lot of one attribute decks. I played against zombies, I played against Necros, I played against Pendulum Magicians, and those typically are all, at least most of them are all dark. So again, it didn't really come up too often, so odds are I'll probably end up putting this in the sideboard and just throwing in an extra copy of Summon Limit and There Can Only Be One, and just play accordingly next time. And then just the remainder of the traps. 2 Storming Mirror Force. This card's stupid. It won me games. They'd swing into me with just 3 set back row, nothing else on their field other than their monsters, and that sent all of them back. That stopped Cyber Dragons from OTKing me twice. Definitely keeping that in the deck no matter what. Then 3 Solemn Strike. It's just a good card. You don't really care if your life points get hurt too much. Time's not much of an issue, especially when you can swing for 3,400 per turn, as long as you have your Final Battle and Guru on field. And then, of course, 1 Solemn Warning as well. Again, you don't really care about inflicting a little bit of damage to yourself because it's just stalling them out and controlling the way the game state is. And then the last 2 cards I played in the main deck were 1 copy of Skill Drain, 1 copy of Soul Drain. I anticipated a lot of danger, danger and Thunder Dragon. So Soul Drain, it doesn't really affect me unless I needed a Guru back and I had a Fiendus on field. That's pretty much the only thing that it really would have stopped. It didn't hurt me at all. I had 1 matchup against the Danger Orcus that's going on around right now, and I activated Summon Limit in game 2. He red rebooted me, so I went and put Soul Drain on field, and he couldn't OTK me that turn, so the next turn I activated Soul Drain, and he couldn't play. He just surrendered, and I won the match because of it. Skill Drain only came up once against Thunder Dragons, and he ended up popping it right after I activated it as well, so it didn't really do too much, but it's nice because you can play this, and you can still use your monster effects as long as you control a Final Battle. Because you can use the effect that says their effects can't be negated, so it was really good synergy between those two, right? Skill Drain and Final Battle. And then we can go on to the extra deck. Your extra deck doesn't really matter. You don't go into it ever. I did play some things just because I played the 1 Scapegoat. So I played the 2 Link Karibo, just because, again, Scapegoat targets. I played 1 Kigari, 1 Shizuku, 1 LP, Sunlight Wolf, Mrs. Radiant, again this is for Scapegoat, 1 Summon Sork, 1 Skuldred, 1 Trisbania, Adante, Vorlode, Outer Entity Azathoth, and then 1 Mud Dragon, and the Piranha Plant Fusion. I don't own Extravagance, so planning on a budget build, I decided to put cherries into the extra deck, and majority of everything in here is a cherries target. Saryuya or LP for the Guard Dragon matchup, Shizuku and Kigari both for the Sky Striker, Sunlight Wolf just in case I bumped into any Salamangreat. I didn't play any, luckily, but again, I had it just in case. Summon Sork, again, shut their plays down. Dante in case they played any Burning Abyss, and I didn't see any of them. And then same thing with Azathoth, I didn't see anyone running it. So extra deck was kind of useless this entire time. But on to the side, I played the 2 Pankratops. Honestly, he never came up for me. He's a great card, but never got a chance to actually resolve his effect. 2 Sphere Mode, just in case I was forced to go second and they were building a big board, just like the Guard Dragons typically do. Again, never ran into an issue where I needed it. The 2 cherries, again, I sighted in a couple times, but I never saw it. Didn't really do anything for me, so probably will side that out whenever I get extravagance if I'm able to. 2 evenly matched. Honestly, this card's stupid. I don't care if I don't get a turn right away. I can just go main phase, battle phase, end battle phase, activate, blow up their field, and then start my turn during main phase 2. It doesn't affect me one little bit. Then Heavy Storm Duster, just for back row removals in case I play like a mirror match, Paleo, Altergeist. I sided in against Pen Magicians and never saw it, unfortunately. 2 red reboot in case I saw Altergeist, again, didn't play against it. 2 Wiretap just to protect me from red reboot. I sided in pretty much every game I was forced to go second and never saw it. And they always managed to see their red reboot, so it was a little unfortunate for me, but it happens. And then the 1 copy of Super Poly, just in case I play against Thunder Dragon or the mirror match. I used it to summon the Mud Dragon of the Swamp or the Predaplant fusion, just so I'd be able to take their monsters and use them for my own fusion summon, and just clear up the board a bit. Like I said, pretty much the only changes I would make to the deck would be for, if I actually got some extravagance, I would put 2 of those in there. I think it's a good card, but I think it's kind of got the same issue with me as Desires does. I don't want to extravagance into an extravagance. So I'd only play about 2 copies of that, and then again, take out the cherries for something maybe a little bit better for the Thunder Dragon matchup. I went 6-3. I won against the Danger Orchist, Nekroz, Trickstar, Sky Striker, Zombies, a lot of rogue options that I played against, and the only losses I had were for Danger Thunder Dragon and Pure Thunder Dragon, and then the Pen Magician game 1 loss was because game 2 he opened Eradicator, and game 3 he opened up with Dinko Sekka, and I couldn't out it. So overall, I think the deck performed really well. Again, 61st place out of a tournament with 370 some people was pretty good for my first regional, and hope to do better next time. Hopefully we can go down to the regional down in Charlotte next time and see what we can do there. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you like the video. If you have any suggestions for the build, or if you like the build itself, just let me know, and again, we'll see you next time.